So today's shoot, we're going to use little flashes, speed lights, and giant flashes. The reason I'm showing this video today is because so many people take these giant flashes with big modifiers, and I hate that. I hate carrying this around. It's so heavy. The wind can blow it over and break it, which this thing did take a tumble. And then you have the little flashes that work just fine. It's just light placement that you have to watch. I mean, if you're using just a bare flash, you know, that light placement closer to the camera is really going to help, but it'll still fill in the shadows for you without taking something giant like this. I also have this one. This is the little speed light, and I'm just using the round flash. They're out of business, I think, but you can still get these on eBay. I love these things. Let me just show you really quick. Not that you haven't seen these already, but literally it's just, you pull it apart and you twist together, and this goes in your pocket. And it gives really nice light. So instead of taking these giant things with big stands and everything else, which I just don't want to carry around, I take this with a speed light and I'm good to go when I need a little bit softer light. Anyway, let's get to the shoot and see how we did with all this stuff. Oh, I'm using the OM system, OM1 Mark II. Just still playing with this camera, learning about it and testing it out. I never ever thought I would like it as much as I do, but it doesn't matter what camera system you're using. This goes for all the cameras. So I'm starting this shoot off with the A2, just bare flash. I have it up pretty high on this because I wanted that shadow underneath her chin. And since it's an overcast sky, it's really even lighting. So to add depth, you know, I need to put it high and, you know, point it down to give it that little bit of depth underneath her chin shadowing. But it worked out pretty well. And this has a frosted lens on it. So this light actually, it comes out diffused, you know, not soft. It's a small light. It's not soft, but it's diffused. But if you notice, I keep it close to the camera angle. It's not too far away from where I'm shooting, which, you know, eases up the shadowing. You know, I like the shadows and I like a little bit of a harder shadow. But if you don't, just keep that light a little bit closer to the camera's angle and it'll be fine. It'll look fantastic. But for me, like I said, I'll push that just a little bit more because I want that shadow and I want that look. I like the depth of it and the look of it for me. But you do you. Just remember, closer to the camera, the less shadows, a little bit further away, a little bit more shadows. You can control it. You can control the narrative on this without the giant modifier. And, you know, the photos I think are great. I love them. I'm sure everybody else will have their own opinion. But, you know, myself and the young lady that I'm shooting for today, we both like the photos. And that's what matters because she pays my paycheck. Anyway, so the next light we're going to go to is the big honking, you know, 500 watt second with the modifier. And don't ever do this with this kind of stand because it won't end well. You know, bring a big stand, but I'm like right by the door to my studio and I'm going to stand close to the light, so I'm not worried about it. But I just want to show you a few shots from this. And this is a little hot on her cheek. I dialed it back a little bit, but it's a nice light, but it's not giving me more than what I need. Now I'm just going to go right into, you know, no light now because it is an overcast sky. And maybe there's a little bit more pop out of the image with the light, but not enough for me to go, hey, I have to carry this big thing. Obviously, if it's bright sun and you're trying to, you know, fill in those shadows, you need something bigger. But 99% of the time, I don't. And why carry that big flash, that big modifier if I don't have to? Now, here's just the speed light with that pop-up round flash. Now, if you do a search on eBay for round flash, pop-up round flash, or beauty disc, whatever, you'll find these, the third-party ones, because round flash, I believe, is out of business. But there are still seldom third party. And these are nice little flashes to have, even if you throw one in your car for emergency kind of things. But this thing is fantastic. It's not going to pick up the wind as much as a giant modifier, but the light from it is pretty nice. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the shoot. If you have any questions, leave them below.